God. Oh, hey, how you doing? So you want to see me play a game today, huh? All right, let's try something different. Okay, let's just put you over here. All right, let's play a little game called Plokoth. Now, this is a little indie Steam game. It's completely free. I downloaded it a couple of years back. I just had to play it, and I remember getting really angry. So let's play it again and see how it rolls. Now, Plokoth is a very tight precision platformer, but when you play it, it's really hard. So let's just begin with the game itself. Now, let's go ahead and play it. That's not part of the background. That's part of the foreground, which is really stupid. But let's just get into the game. Maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe it's my bad. Hitbox could be smaller, but that's just my problem. Now that we're doing it, yeah, we're doing decent enough. We're not doing terrible. So, yeah, screw me. Burn me with fire! But it's really hard to control with the keyboard itself, but then once you get a controller, the joystick completely screws up your dashes because you dash in the wrong direction because, well, there's no type precision. And then you're, oh, why don't you just use the D-pad? The D-pad on this controller sucks. That's why I don't use it. Man, and also because I have a joystick, let me use it effectively. But I end up getting past it with some tight platforming, and then you get to this. It's not that hard. You think it's bull, but it's okay. You don't even have to wall jump on that one. But you see, I accidentally dashed backwards. You see, that's the problem with the dashing in this game. Because when you try to dash up, and if you try to dash diagonally, it's either going to get you straight up or straight to the side. Like, half the time it doesn't dash diagonally, which is stupid, because that's like the one thing it's supposed to do! And then you get to this point and you're like, okay, this game's a little difficult, but maybe I just need practice. But you know what? You don't need practice because of the way this game's momentum works. You see, when you jump, your momentum doesn't carry into it. There's no force when you try to change directions, so it's really fast and snappy. Some people might like that, but others don't. Now, you'd think this would be a cutscene, but it's not. But you keep going in the game, and you see these little pods. Now, how are you supposed to know that those give you an extra dash? I've played it before, so I remember that. But, like, who's going to know that those give you an extra dash? Like, right there. And then you get the second dash, you get to the point, and you're doing good. You're like, maybe I just did need practice. But you see that? If you don't hit it while you're dashing, you die. Which is stupid, because I hit it, I was dashing, but no, it doesn't want to register it, and it just gets on my nerves, you know? But like, this rant about me going on about an old Steam game that I have not played in forever, and then just to go back to it and get really mad. There, I finally did it, but do you realize how many attempts that took for something so simple? Or something that should have been easy. Look at that, it wouldn't even let me jump. That, it just dashed me straight into it. But then I get past it, of course, I'm doing fine. And you have this. How are you supposed to know you can dash through that? And look, when you jump, you can't even dash down correctly because you're trying to move while you do it. So you have to stay perfectly still. But then, oh look, it's not in the background. That's what. This is another thing. Games should have it to where, like, you can clearly see what you're not supposed to touch. You can't, like, just make the enemies look like they're in the background, okay? Like, there's not even any enemies in this game. Look, I barely went under it, and it didn't give it to me. That one. Look, that was perfectly smooth because I've done this before. But oh my god, imagine being a new player and having no idea about that this game even exists. Like, come on, dude. That would suck to be you. But as you can see, I'm having trouble getting up here because once again, look, there was nothing keeping me in one spot when I did that. Look at that. You can't even like cling to walls because of how the momentum works. It's not like Super Mario Brothers where like you jump and then like you try to and then you stop. You don't just stop in place. You keep going a little bit because that's how momentum works. But did you look at that? It wouldn't dash me up. Look, now I'm stuck again, and now I have to kill myself because the dash is not reliable. But we keep going. We die again because this game is unfairly difficult. You die again. Again, this game is unfairly difficult. Look, I'm just gonna have to say it now. I cannot believe that they would make a game this hard. I mean, come on. Like, I can imagine probably this being easier with like a GameCube controller, someone notches. But who's gonna, out of all of you, who would have a micro USB controller that's GameCube or with notches? Like, nobody has these. So, and most people on PC probably just have an Xbox controller. And then you have the way that there's no notches. And then, like, you're rolling around, and then because of the way the controllers are made, it's perfectly circular. But with here, you get tactile feedback. You know when your finger's going to slip off. But here, you're not paying attention. Then all of a sudden, oh, your finger's off. You're in the middle of falling, and you can't dash anywhere because your finger's gone. It's bullshit. Back to the game. Well, now I'm still trying to do this. Oh, come on! What did I even hit that time? That was just faulty game design. What did I hit that time too? You see, the weird thing about this is if you hit the ground while you're going through that, you die. And I don't know if that's intentional, but it's still bull. This game is just to the point of boiling rage, like boiling macaroni. Oh, now of course you still can't get through that! Well, now that we finally got through, we're just gonna... Oh, well, there I go again, because the way that momentum works. Oh, look, once again, you can't do it because I'm freaking terrible. Oh, well, there I go again. Alright, I finally made it. Okay. Look, now there we are. We're stuck again. Now I have to use the D-pad, which, again, I remind you, sucks on this controller. Because of where it's placed. Just doesn't feel natural. And there, I almost had it, but then the excitement of me getting it made me stop doing everything. Now I'm here. Look at this. Look how terrible that is. Like, look at that. Now you'd think you'd have to dash between both. But you see, the trick is here that you don't have to. What kind of game makes the central mechanic not needed to be used? Like, come on. Either you make that part easier, or you just make it a wall jumping bit. Like, you don't need the air dash. You don't completely need it. Look, here are 3 things that this game needs better. Better physics, because once again, you stop in midair, you just stop. You don't continue a little bit, you just stop. Dead in your tracks. And it's annoying, you know? Then, better enemy design, or hazard design. Like, if you look at this, tell me what's in the foreground and what's in the background. Like, before, like, if you weren't watching this, you would not be able to tell. Because all the shadowing and everything just looks like it would be there. And then, number 3. More mechanics doesn't mean better game. Look, the air dash is nice, but like if it was a little more fluid, I'd be okay with it. But look at this bit. We already had the double dash in the wall, right? Now look at this. Now you have no wall, just dash. Now this is about the point where I gave up because I was so mad, right? Like you could understand that. But the thing is, apparent like look here now. Come on. Like there's no save, and again, look, damage from obstacles seemed inconsistent. But most people don't seem to think that the game is that hard. Like, they say it's difficult, but they don't say it's unpainly difficult. And need I remind you, there's no saves. That's the worst part. There's no saves. The one thing that a platformer that difficult and that hard needs is saving. What were they thinking? It it makes me want to pull out my hair and shove a Wii remote up my ass. Like, come on now. Heck, even a Wii remote would be good enough for this game. It has notches! Come on, Steam! This game has a 7 out of 10. It's verified! How? How is this game mostly positive? It just doesn't make sense. This was released less than a year ago. How is it? We have stuff like Celeste, New Super Mario Brothers, which came out on the DS, like almost 15 years ago from this game. And you can't even get the physics right. Even Cuphead had a better dash mechanic. And that game was hard as balls. Like, dude. Like, dude, there's even a plot? What plot? The game just starts! Plokoth's on a journey to destroy the core of a horrible disease that infected his girlfriend, Oth. What do you mean? There was no plot! If anything, the only plot was person covered in spike, little glow ball come pick you up, probably to send you off to Uranus. The game was made by the developer and the publisher was Team Plokoth. Now, what games did they make? Plokoth! That's their only game! Dude! This is bullshit. Just, come on, dude. There are more positive reviews than negative reviews. Why? This game is not that good. But it isn't that good. Like, come on. Just, I cannot believe that a game this crap, a game that hard and terrible has 7 stars out of 10. What were they thinking? Like, okay, so if the best way to play the game is with a GameCube controller, and you don't have one, okay, get an Xbox or PlayStation controller. At least PlayStation controller would have a better D-pad. What if you have none of those? You gotta resort to the keyboard. You ever used a keyboard in a platformer? No! Why would you? I cannot stress enough how much pain this game brings me. However, I will give it one thing. The game is nice looking, but graphics doesn't mean glory. Now, I cannot take much more of this. My head is starting to hurt. My blood sugar's starting to rise. So, I'm just gonna leave this episode of Random Rants here. I hope you enjoyed. Farewell. I'm gonna go pet my dog.